Three, two, one. Welcome back to the Grinning Goats Lightforge Arena tier list Rastakhan evaluation stream. This is Adwicta.
Merps here. Let's do these cards.
We're doing Rogue, and Rogue has a premium card right off the bat. Super simple card. 4 mana, walk the plank, destroy an undamaged minion. So 4 damage, destroy a minion. That's better than 5 damage, destroy a minion.
It is. Very good.
Wait.
This just plays in line with what rogues already do, right?
How do you have more things to say about this card?
I don't. Let's move on. Okay. Oh, that's true. I'm gonna have to say more about the next card.
Yes, I was about to say, this is where you want to save your words for, Burps. Gurubashi Hypemon, the other premium card in Rogue, is epic, unfortunately, so you won't see him as often, but he is a 7 mana, 5/7 Battlecry. Discover a 1/1 copy of a Battlecry minion. It costs 1 mana.
Ooh. Yeah. Did you do the analysis for this? The Battlecry minions?
Sort of. Like, we have all the Battlecries and what their value is, so the algorithm is doing the analysis.
Okay.
So,
but there are
by extension...
there are some pretty good Battlecries.
Yes.
And this thing is very cheap, so that's good. You're going to get some, like, good stuff here. And, I don't know. I don't have that much more to say.
So there is the score is actually going to go up because we have a change that hasn't been pushed through yet. Where discover cards, like discover into your hand cards, are all going to go up a bit, and this one's going to go up a bit more. Precisely because it has that reduction, and so it's just about battle cries. So you're like halfway between discovering on the board and discovering like in hand, right? Because you don't have to pay the mana cost for the battle cry. But yeah, this card will actually end up a bit higher than 134. I'm thinking maybe in like the 140s.
Yeah, and I think it is just that good, right? And this is one I don't think is that controversial. People, like, if you look at the available sort of battle cries and you're like, wait, I get to choose one out of 3, like 1 out of 3. You're like, the chances of like one of the 3 being something that you really, really like is extremely high.
Yep.
Cool. All right. So next card we have Stolen Steel, which is 2 mana. Discover a weapon from another class. I'll keep this discussion a little bit short, but I looked at this. You have about a 50% chance to get a weapon that is pretty good, like is pretty decent, right? And obviously some of the best ones, if you want like super value / just doing something that rogues typically can't do, you got your Silver Sword, Super Collider, Rune Spears, Valenier, Woe Cleaver, stuff like that. And then you have interesting ones too, like Twig or Luneth, right? But if you look at it, well, there's a lot of good stuff. There's also a lot of clunkers as well, right? Light's Justice. Who doesn't want that? Also like Light Sorrow as well. So you have a 50% chance to get something like really good to pretty good. And then 50% chance to get something that's just like, well, it's fine as a weapon, but like, did you really want to spend 2 mana to just find an Eagle Horn Bow? Right? That doesn't really help. And it's something that rogues can do anyways. So it's cool, and weapons are nice. And we obviously reward the opportunity to get like a game-winning weapon, but it's not that high because of that. So 110.
Good analysis. So now a rogue weapon is next. It's 92. You don't really want to pick it, and you know why, because you see it. It's a 1 mana 1/3 weapon, and it has a death rattle, give your minions rush. So I will say, it doesn't take 3 turns to trigger this. You can always dagger up to get the death rattle. Anytime you can get this death rattle to give your minions rush. So it gives you basically unlimited initiative for 2 mana after you play it. Or if you need something to have rush this turn, you can get 1 damage out of it, and then still have a dagger, and then still have given all of your minions rush. So that's where its value comes from, right? Like, it's a very flexible way to build a dagger. But it's a card. You've lost a card if you played this. And you have a hero power that does most of what this card does. So The ability is actually like very strong, and you're very flexible in being able to trigger it. That's why it's a 92. But you don't have a card anymore. You have lost a card. So it's not like actually a good card.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's always a little bit more awkward than I think people think it is, because if you want this death, either you set it up so that you truly do need to wait 3 turns, or whenever you want to rush like minions or a minion, you have to spend that 2 extra mana, right? To like for you to just destroy this thing. So when I first looked at it, I was like, oh, this is pretty good. And then I think of the scenarios, I'm like, right, they're spending the card, and you have to a lot of times, most of the time, spend 2 more mana.
Yeah, and what are you doing on turn 2? Like, are you daggering? Like, are you having 2 drops in your deck now as a rogue? Like, it screws up your whole deck building to have this
This
card.
is one of those, right? It's like a 1 mana card that can't be played on turn 1. That there
Or
is
like
a
it can be played on turn 1. I would argue you would play it on turn 1, and then you would just
if you
like
had
not do anything on turn 2.
right, or you say, oh, I'm going to draft him off 2 drops as rogue.
Right.
But part of the good thing about rogue is you don't have to
Right.
draft 2 drops. So
So it's
awkward.
like it's good in an archetype that rogues don't really do anymore because there's no good 2 drops anymore. And this expansion did not add good 2 drops. It added a lot of 2 drops, but they're not good.
Yep.
All right. Now we're getting to bad cards. We're in the 70s range. Raiding Party, 3 mana, draw 2 pirates from your deck, combo, and a weapon. The reason this isn't totally unplayable is the combo part, the and a weapon part. Like, you may or may not have a pirate. You'll probably have a pirate, and then you'll have a weapon, and so you'll draw 2 things most of the time, but not all the time. And you need to combo it.
Yep.
Spirit of the Shark, 4 mana, 0/3, stealth for 1 turn. Your minions battle cries and combos trigger twice. So this is their way of creating what was that legendary card? 3 mana, 2/4 that doubles your battle cries.
Bran.
This is doing that, but it is a lot more expensive. It lives longer, is not on curve. More importantly for Arena, it's not that good for Arena because you have plenty of battle cries and combos, but not enough to make it worth 4 mana.
Yep.
And like half your battle cries and combos don't even work by triggering twice.
You're definitely going to lose games to this card. Like, once again, I do want to flag cards that we don't rank very high, but you're still going to lose many games to it. And, you could draft decks that make this work beautifully, right? But
Spirit
on
of the
average,
Shark, double eviscerate face.
what?
Spirit of the Shark, double eviscerate face.
Sure. Or just like Fungal Mancer, right? But yeah, on average, this is like you still need those battle cries. And like some battle
Oh,
cries,
this only triggers combos on minions. Oh, it's
yeah,
even worse than I thought. Jeez, okay.
yeah, it's bad. It's not. It's only minions.
Terrible.
Yeah, so this is why when you were like eviscerate, I was like, oh, he's joking. So I would just say I think.
Bloodsail Howler, 2 mana, 1/1, pirate, rush, battlecry, gain +1/+1 for each pirate you control. You will not control more than 1 pirate. You will probably not control 1 pirate. It sucks. Moving on. Cannon Barrage, 6 mana, deal 3 damage to a random enemy. Repeat for each of your pirates. You will not control a pirate. You will at most control 1 pirate. It sucks. It's a 7. Don't pick it.
I like how it's a 7. It's like very specific.
It was better than a 0.
It is better than a 0. Wow. Okay. Wow. So much better than Shirvala, which is pretty much true. You could always. Sometimes you just need a 6 mana Sinister Strike, or. Okay.
You want to talk about like the challenger to the Druid legendary for the best legendary?
All right. So the legendary for Rogue is Grawl the Shark. 5 mana, 2/2 beast. Battlecry, eat a minion in your deck and gain its stats. So average size of a minion is like what? A 3/4-ish, right? It's about a 3/4.
Mm-hmm.
And Death Rattle, add it to your hand. Okay. we got something here, right? So 5 mana, you're looking at like
Correct
five,
stats.
yeah, correct stats like a 5/6, and Death Rattle, you get a card. You get that card. So pretty good, pretty freaking
Yeah.
good. Yeah, it's a 150, which is really high. Like Lich King is only a little bit above it, and Lich King is really good for Rogue because of the taunt as well. But this
Mm.
thing is also just really, really, really good.
Yep. Super good. Super good. Very easy to see why. The other legendary is an 8 mana Captain Hooktusk. It's a 6/3 pirate battlecry. Summon 3 pirates from your deck. Give them rush. So the thing with rogues, and this is why you notice that like the stuff that requires pirates actually have a little bit of a bonus, is because you're gonna get some pirates, especially after this set. There are some pirates, but you're not gonna have 3 of them in your deck to summon, and giving them rush is very useful, right? So you get 1 pirate out, it rushes. You're doing okay-ish for this 8 mana. That's why it like has value at all, right? You may be looking at this and be like, 90/60 is pretty high. That's like kind of a usable card. But you can think of it as like a 6/3 and then like deal 2 or 3 damage to something, right? Like assuming you can get it to trigger even once.
Yep. You just need to draft all the ticket scalpers.
All right. Well, that is Rogue. What do you think about how Rogue is going to fare in the new arena?
Look, right now they are a very good class, right? They're a very
Mm-hmm.
good class, and they like, but what are they really riding? They're riding the power of their dagger. And this is why, like, when we looked at the serrated tooth, right? People, I saw some people who was like, no, 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 but this is still good. And it's like, well, what are you doing on turn two? It's like, well, then you just draft twos. It's like
Mm-hmm.
the power of Rogue comes from the fact that you never have to draw twos or draft twos, right? So has this expansion changed the way that rogues play? No, it further cements their identity and how they play, right? You have walk the plank, right? That is a really good card, but still like really what they do. Um, Stolen Steel is not consistent enough for you to kind of like play around it. And also rogues could always steal stuff anyway. So you're just like, whatever. And all of their other cards, I'm just like, all right, they don't really move the needle. So and it doesn't even matter if like a class gets a lot of bad cards because then they're going to be bucketed anyways. So it's like, oh, they'll just compete against each other / you won't see them that often. So Rogue essentially just got walk the plank.
Mm-hmm.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Same old, same old.
Urubashi Hypeman also going to be just like value, pushing
Oh,
value onto
true.
the rogue.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's something rogues like. They have room for this stuff, right? Because they can dagger, they can put other cards in their deck.
Mhm.
It's good. There are other cards you won't see, and that's fine. It's a very polarized class, and rogues will continue to be very good. So here's the thing, because we have a little bit of extra time for this rogue video. I'll talk a little about how Blizzard's bucketing system in the big picture affects what you can do in the arena. Let's say you have a class that has a control play style that's like 60 per, like we'll give it 60 points for how you can normally build it, and then it has an aggro play style, and we'll give it 40 points for how you can build it. You will almost never draft the aggro playstyle in that position because Blizzard is going to micro adjust things for that class until it is even at a 50% win rate, and people are going to all flock to the better playstyle. So the 60 is reduced to a 40, which means your 40 was now reduced to a 35, and you just have like a really freaking crappy playstyle. So whenever there's a divergence in playstyles within a class, because of the bucketing system, it can't be one is very powerful and the other one still works. It will always be, assuming they click the actual balancing button, one is playable, the other one is not. So that's what's going to happen. That's what has happened with rogue and aggro rogues. And unless aggro rogues is brought up to the same level as a dagger on 2 rogue, which I don't think is going to happen, that aggro rogue will never work. Like, in terms of win rate on average, trying to draft that way. You'll still end up with an odd deck or not that, like, that can go in that direction. But if you just like start out and being like, I'm gonna draft aggro rogue, and someone else starts out and being like, I'm gonna definitely hero power on 2 and draft like a mid-rangey, otherwise value kind of rogue, one's just gonna have a higher win rate. And that's stuff that you know, for very diverging classes, it's helpful to recognize.
It's so sad. Remember when I played like super aggro rogue with Buccaneers and also Goblin Auto Barbers and like triple Cold Blood, and I was just like,
so fun.
So fun. It's so fun. I got a lot of 12s with that. It's really not possible. Like the way to play rogues. And look, you can still draft Cold Bloods, but you're not aggro. You are
opportunistic.
Opportunistic is a good word, right? It's like, okay, I put them in a tough spot. All right, they're dead now. But you are not sort of the kind of decks that I was describing, in which you have one game plan. You do not deviate from that game plan. I do not need to see when to flip.
Right.
No. I start off like just going 100 miles an hour. And that kind of rogue, you can't do it. It doesn't get there. I've tried it. Nope. It's very sad.
All right. That's it from us. And Rogue, we will see you as Shaman next. Do you have some shoutouts?
We've done a lot of shoutouts.
All right, no shoutouts this time. Well, Rogues don't have shoutouts. They're too selfish. See you in the next video.